Hi friends, welcome to Spring Fever, hosted by 6 Kids and a Glue Gun, Lady Red Crafting, and special guest host DIY with Amber. Links to all 3 hosts and the playlist will be in the description box. Let's get crafting. For this DIY, I have a couple different colors of hydrangea from Dollar General. These were a green dot markdown. They ended up being, I believe, less than $1. I've got a little fabric truck. This was in a grab bag box from Michael's. I guess it used to be a pick because there's like a little opening here, and some ribbon from Sam's. I bought this about a year ago after spring, and now I'm gonna use it. It's a nice neutral. I've got a bicycle wreath form from DollarTree, and then zip ties from DollarTree. So I want to create a beautiful, nearly neutral wreath with just a little pop of color with my little truck. So I've already cut these down, and I left this one the normal size just to give you a visual of the stems. And I think these are really excellent quality that Dollar General carries. So if you see these on clearance, grab them. I think they're absolutely beautiful, and they look a lot more high-end than a dollar store item. Okay, so to get started, I lay my hydrangea out in the pattern that I'm going to attach them to my wreath form. And then I get my zip ties out and I start getting them clipped down onto the wreath form. And then I end up using 2 zip ties for each of the stems just so they're not spinning around. And then once I get them attached, I just snip off that excess piece of that stem that's hanging on the bottom. Okay, so now I'm here at the final hydrangea that I'm going to add on, and just like the other ones, I'm going to add 2 zip ties to get this secured so that it's not flopping all over the place on my wreath form. And once I get my second zip tie secured, I'm gonna go and start in on my bow using that neutral ribbon. And I left a little bit of space after the second hydrangea that I attached so that I could like get my bow snug in there. And I'm going to make just a simple bow, and I'm going to make 2 of them. The first one is going to be just a little bit larger than the second, and I'm going to layer them and get them attached to the wreath form with a zip tie as well. So once I get my bows together, I'm going to do a dry fit before I zip tie them, and just put my truck on top to see if I like the way it looks with the bows. And then I'm going to hot glue just a couple of leaves down, one at the top on the side of that first hydrangea, and then one at the bottom to cover an area where the stem and the zip ties are noticeable. And then I go in and I zip tie my bows down to my wreath form, and then I hot glue my little truck right on top of that. So I do a little bit more fussing to the ribbon, and then I'm going to dovetail the ends, and that's it for this spring hydrangea wreath. I think this turned out so beautifully. Let me know, what do you think of this? Okay, so moving on to DIY number 2. I made this lantern during the fall, and I want to give this a gorgeous makeover for the spring. Let's get rid of the sunflowers and the raffia and add some bright spring colors. So I have this gorgeous bunch of pink roses that I found at Hobby Lobby, along with these beautiful rose pattern ribbon. And I think this will be really beautiful to just refresh this lantern and add these gorgeous pinks. So I'm going to go ahead and take off all of this fall stuff and add a beautiful bow to the top using just the same standard bow like I did in the first DIY. So I'm just going to use hot glue to attach my bow to the top of the lantern, and then I'm going to snip off one of the branches from my rose bush and just add that to the top since it matches so well with the pattern on the ribbon. And I have it just kind of flowing down with like 3 or 4 of the rose buds and some of the leaves, and I thought this was really beautiful because it really matches so well. And so I want to use my rose bush to make a candle ring to fill in the bottom portion of the lantern. So I'm going to take this rose bush and snip off several of the branches and just take the wire and kind of shape them around into a circle. So the branches that I snip off, since everything is wired, I just kind of twist them around each other until I get a half circle. And then I decided that since I have a couple of larger candles that I might want to swap out in that lantern, that I'm not going to make a complete circle like the original candle ring that I had from the fall. I'm going to leave an opening so I can kind of pull it open and closed. So I make it just a little bit bigger, and I end up adding just 2 more branches to make it just a little larger. Okay, so now I've got these all twisted together so where I can slide. I have a larger candle. I'll slide my candle in and just push that around. So I have my florals all around my candle. So I just get my candle nestled inside my roses, and I get those arranged and pulled all the way around my candle. And then I found these little birdies after the springtime last year, and I thought popping one in would be just a super cute little touch, a little added cutesy. And I take the one with the pink hat out and just stick that right inside and nestle it on top of one of the roses. I thought that was so adorable. Cute little sunbonnet with the little flowers on top. And the final thing I do is I kind of fuss around with the ends of my bow a bit, and then I give them just a little bit of a dovetail touch, and that'll do it for this DIY. I love the way this spring refresh turned out. These pink roses are so gorgeous, such a bright pop of color. I would love to know, what do you think of the refresh of this lantern? And here is just a view of it with that original Dollar Tree candle that I'd used before. Okay, so for this DIY, I have a cloche from, I think, 2 years ago from Target. Plastic cloche. I've got some greenery with some little white florals. I think this is from Michael's. I've got a little plucked pink bunny from Dollar Tree, a couple of wooden mushrooms from Dollar Tree, a piece of green velvet from a pumpkin from Dollar Tree, and a couple different paint colors, some yellow, lavender, and pink for my mushrooms. So I want to add this adorable little flecked bunny to my cloche, and just have a cute little spring scene with some tiny florals and mushrooms. I need to measure out where to cut my green fabric. So I'm just taking a white metallic marker to outline where I need to cut, and then I'm just going to hot glue this fabric into the base of my cloche. Next, I'm going to paint each one of my mushroom tops, and then when they're dry, I'll just take the end of one of my paintbrushes and add some dots to each mushroom. So once the mushrooms completely dried, I move on to doing a dry fit of how I want to set up my cloche contents, and I just pop off a couple of the stems from my branch and then decide where I want to add in the mushrooms, and then I end up grabbing a couple more of those stem tops to fill in just a bit more around my bunny, and then I add a bit of hot glue so that the mushrooms don't fall over. And it's almost complete, and I decide that I want to add some fairy lights because fairy lights just make everything a bit more magical. So I just add those into the top of the cloche and add it back on to the base, and that's it. And here's my adorable pinkity bunny cloche. I think this flocking on the bunny makes it kind of look like cotton candy. Or maybe I'm just kind of hungry. I don't know. It looks so cute and delicious. And I love the lights and the little pastel mushrooms. Let me know, what do you think of this cute little spring cloche? And here's another look at the other two DIYs from this video. These were super fun. Thanks so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you on board. And don't forget, there is a fantastic playlist. I'll have a link to all three hosts and that great playlist. I hope you have a wonderfully blessed spring season.